Okay, so I want to just do this real quick before I begin the review. Yes, now I know that, my theory from last week when I did August 15th, most likely what's wrong with August 15th, why is it happening all on the same day as time repeating? Now I know there was a 2-year skip between those two events, so sorry anyone if I made you mad, the original fans of Mekakucity actors. So anyways, let's get on to the actual review of this episode. My god, I have so many theories, so many things that really happened this episode. Right off the bat, I want to say this episode was fucking awesome. It was really good, dark, it can confuse a lot of people. It confused me a little bit, but I am starting to open my eyes to what is really going on. Okay, so I have neglected to talk about one thing about this series. That the ending segment, right after the ending song, you get that little monster girl that's falling in love with that regular human. Well, we see that little girl make an appearance in the middle of this episode, and it seems like this little girl had a power, like she had, like, tentacles or whatever, going inside of Takane and turning her into Ine that we know inside of a phone or electronic. So, here's the thing, here's the interesting thing. The reason why all these people have these eye powers, these different type of powers, I think, is because they have had their bodies transferred into something else, and they're given powers from this monster girl. That's exactly what I think is going on here, way this episode showcased that. It seems like this monster girl with the red eyes we saw in the black dress is giving people their powers and giving them new bodies. Like, we see Konoha get a new body right at the end of this, and he's getting dragged in by serpents, and then we also get to see Takane transferred into her new body. So overall, I now understand exactly how they're kind of getting their powers. It's from this original little monster girl. I didn't really think that the ending segment after the credits really had any specific meaning to the overall series, but now I was wrong. I was incorrect, and it does have major impact to the overall series, so I'm definitely gonna have to start paying more attention to that after the ending. So one thing, let's talk about this. Now, I don't know if anyone caught it or not, but it was really quick, and you had to really be paying attention, but that sensei at the end with Konoha, he had a red eye. He had a red eye, like, how we have the red eyes mean they have a power? That sensei has a power. Now, the sensei was right there when Konoha was losing his body, and pretty much as we heard this girl talking, most likely the monster girl, pretty much was stating that, okay, your new body will be just a husk without any of your memories. So what does this mean exactly? Is it because of the sensei that was there doing that, or is there something else? Now, here's a major theory I am throwing out there, okay? Like I said, as always, I could be incorrect. But I feel like that sensei from the stories after the ending song, maybe that sensei is the human that fell in love with the monster girl. And that monster girl and them are working together and trying to change people's lives. Because if we look at the factors of this, okay? It seems like everything is wrapped around Ayano. It seems like everything's wrapped around her, it's wrapped around these powers, and at the same time, it's wrapped around August 15th. You have to admit, a lot of things are happening on that specific date. Now, exactly what is the importance, okay? What is the importance of these characters? That's one thing you gotta figure out. Like, why is the monster girl wanting to mess with these people and make them into new husk and new body? Is it because they're interesting? Is it because this girl is trying to change her life? Whatever it is, I'm very intrigued about it. But there's other things about this episode that is really interesting. Like Kano, when he's holding Ine in the phone, you see Ine and him talking alone near the graveyard of Ayano's grave. We see that Kano knows a lot more than he has let on since the very beginning. I mean, he seemed to show some evil traits in him in this episode. I mean, I don't know if it's because of Shaft's style or not, but he was definitely giving the vibes of evil off his character or something, or conniving or lying off his character. I don't know if I was the only one to sense that, but Kano definitely has an ulterior motive behind the scenes that nobody else knows of, and maybe that's why he's trying to grow the entire group. So one thing though, this episode reveals a lot and also once again brings up more fucking questions. It's good though, because now we're starting to get aspects to where we most likely know where these powers are coming from, and we're also finding out all these people with powers now have had their bodies transferred, they're in a new body or something. Because Kano in this episode pretty much states that everybody has had their body switched like they have new bodies. So I'm intrigued about this, I wonder exactly what has happened. So what seems to trigger the events of someone getting a new body? It seems at the time of death, because we see that Takane dies this episode. She dies and gets transferred into another body, and the monster, as I said, injects her with something, and she gets her red eyes, and we see her turn into NA and all that. So I'm just going to take a guess right there and say most likely it's at the time of death they get these type of powers. Now, we also see this with Konoha. He has a heart condition. Now, I completely missed the conditions from last week's episode. I did not know nothing about that. And then this episode, I understand now Konoha died because of his heart condition, but there's probably some other elements underneath and not just because of the heart condition, most likely the sensei being there. And then you have Takane that's also dead too. So, a lot of mystery. A lot of mystery, but we also find out a main factor. Shintaro, our main male character from the first episode, I don't know if he's the main character, but our main male character from the first episode, that is a shut-in, we find out that Ine, or Takane, actually the reason why she's been around him so long is to get him out of his shut-in status and pull him out to be able to make friends. That's her entire mission. She's known about being, you know, a regular human beforehand, and she knows that she's been trapped in this, like, technological body, like this AI body. So, very interesting. I like that a lot. We find out that Takane made a promise with Ayano a long time ago before she died. Now, we really don't know the events, if I remember correctly, of how Ayano died, so I wonder exactly how she died. And there's another interesting thing I want to bring up. I wonder if Ayano's body got transferred into something else. That is something I'm wondering about. Maybe Ayano is the monster girl, the new monster girl. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of mystery factors about this episode. I love it. I love this series. I'm starting to get more and more enjoyment with this series. But, once again, it's still confusing, but I'm not going to put it down for that. I love this level of just psychological twist it's doing to me. So, everybody, tell me your thoughts on this episode of Mekakucity Actors. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What's your favorite moments about it? Love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.